Hey everyone, today we are going to be doing Awakening review video, and this time around we are going to be talking about Lucia, which is the latest Awakening units that is added to the game. And I have been playing around with her throughout the different contents the game exists. I try to test her in the raid and some PvE contents as well as the PvP as well. And I'm here to share my thoughts. So let's jump into the video and talk about it. Just brief information for Lucia. She is a counter Awakening Striker unit with the 6 cost, deployment cost, as well as she's a ground type unit that can attack the ground enemies only with the stability origin as well. Next, we'll go over her skill kits. Starting from her passive skill, she is able to detect the stealth units, which is really good in PvP. She gets tons of damage reductions and always able to crit with her basic and enhanced attack when you max out her passive skill. She also has really cool enhanced attack that triggers when she is inflicted with hit stuns or CC, and this enhanced attack will do some claw attacks, and targets hit by this enhanced attack have their cooldown increased by 21 seconds. And this effect also works against some bosses in PvE, so if you are a rather newer player, so having challenge with some of the bosses which does not have immunity to the cooldown increase types of thing, I think she can be really good options to use against those bosses. But this effect also is mostly PvP, and it works amazing in PvP. Honestly, this is definitely a unique skill that sets her apart from the other units that exist in the game. And also, while casting this enhanced attack, she will be immune to CC and damage, so this definitely helps her survivability quite a bit. This enhanced attack also cannot be reactivated for 7 seconds after use, but it also grants her with evasion plus thousands. But to keep in mind that she actually have a 0 evasion to start off with, so compared with other Awakening Striker units and such, she doesn't really have a high evasions compared to them. Her special skill doesn't do that much damage, but is able to remove 2 random buffs from the targets, which is really good in PvP, and also gives range damage res as you level up per skill. And when you max out the skill, she will get additional effect. Well, it's going to be permanently increase her crit damage by 10% after casting special skill, and this can stack up to 15 times, meaning resulting into 150% crit damage boost, which is really nice. But realistically, using special skill 15 times is pretty hard, especially considering she's most likely going to be running something like HP sets, so you have to keep that in fact. Lastly is her ultimate skill, which is her main DPS skill. It's called the Werewolf Syndrome. She deals the damage to single targets. Ultimate skill damage scales with the max HP instead of attack, and attack speed does not affect the skill during the casting, and direction cannot be changed. If the target is defeated, the casting ends immediately, and the ultimate skill cooldown is restored by 50%. And as you level up the skill, she will get more damage, and maxing out the skill will grant damage res penetration plus 50% to herself while casting ultimate skill. So to summarize all of that, she is a 6 cost striker unit that's mainly directed as a tanker unit that's able to lower enemies cooldown time, able to remove the buff from them, and slowly build up her damage each time she uses her special skill to get some additional crit damage bonus. And with her ultimate skill, she is going to be doing devastating single target attacks, and when you kill a target, she is going to be getting 50% of her cooldown time back, and she is able to trigger her next skill much faster, and it's going to have a snowball effect from there on. When it comes to her gear options, it's pretty simple. Go after her exclusive gear. I think that's going to be giving you most flexibility when it comes to setting up gears for her, because a tons of great option 1 is available and least amount of stress when it comes to dealing with the RNG aspect, especially when it comes to latent power. And not to mention, I think option 1 has a tons of great effect, has a melee damage res and range damage res, as well as incoming healing, so you can choose any of those if you wish to. Skill haste is also incredible stats for her, since it's going to be giving you more often skill usage, which means more buff removal with her special skill and giving some more crit damage. And ultimate skill, more often you can use that, the more DPS you are going to be having with her. Main issue is though in the rank match that if you're having a mirror matches with other opponents of Lucia, they are going to be increasing your cooldown time, so the skill haste stats is actually pretty useless. So I would definitely say focus on HP2 sets, so farm those 4 pieces of a gear and you should be good in my opinions, and don't really have to care about the rest. So Lucia and PvE wise, I will say this is a great character for early game to mid game. She does really good tanking with the maze gear or even like a antagonist gear and such, and she's able to do great damage as well. When you start to leading towards to end game, which you start to care about top of the meta characters, I don't think she really shines that much compared to other stability characters we have. We got Koreans, we got Jushun, we got Solveig, and some other stability character in terms of DPS. So we definitely need tanking, I would say, but she is definitely not needed. I think there are other characters that's better at tanking and stability. So in that regard, I would definitely say it's better off to use other characters, as that's how I feel at the moment. That could always change with the reactor coming out in the future and such, but as of right now, I think I'd rather use other character for PvE, and she's definitely not must-have for PvE contents related when it comes to endgame level stuff. So finally, let's talk about Lucia in PvP contents, and I think after buff, she's a one step away from being totally OP character, in my opinions. She is really tanky. She is able to do a great damage with her ultimate skill now, since she got tons of HP buff that directly impacts her damage with her ultimate skill, and she got tons of damage reductions from her special skill upgrade, as well as a bit more from her passive skill upgrade as well. So overall, I would say she is really tanky. 6 cost striker units, has a huge damage potentials if you can trigger her ultimate skill. There are a couple downsides with her, of course, to prevent her from becoming totally OP character, in my opinions. Main thing definitely would say is a lack of evasion stats, as well as a hit stun immunity. This makes her able to kind of bounce around by enemy attacks quite a bit. This could result into very bad situation, even though your units are alive, but your front line is getting pushed back by enemies, and eventually they are going to be start hitting your ships and such, so it's not a great experience. Another downside she definitely has is that her damage is centered around her ultimate skills, so until then, her damage feels really weak. I mean, of course, her cooldown reduction thing is great against the enemy striker units and defender units, but if they're using more of the range units and such, I think it's going to be really hard to take benefits of that effect. Buff removal is great, but I think other character does it better than her at the moment. And she's also really weak against a character like Jushun. I think she's also really weak against a character like Yuna, who can just kind of build up at the front, and she can't really do much things against them. She's also insanely weak against the Terracon, which is a really popular thing in Korea right now in the high rankings. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's a great unit. She really is, but I don't know if she's going to be getting banned all the time types of thing. I really don't think so. I personally think Champions mode is definitely the best mode for her. I had so much better experience of using her, being able to pick out some of the sniper units away, so she feels much more easier to use, and she actually seems to be surviving long enough to actually trigger her ultimate skills and such. So my overall thought is that after the buff, I think experience with her, especially in PvP, has been great, and I've been having tons of fun using her, because I think a lot of people actually don't really try to use her, especially in Champions mode. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. It's just that if someone asked me, is this a meta character I need to pull out to compete in PvP? I don't really know. Not right now at the moment. Maybe with the reactor touching with the cooldown reduction types of thing, so she can have more guaranteed cooldown pull types of thing, maybe. But as of right now, I think she just lacks a one little thing. But as of right now, I would say she's a great character, and if you like her, I think you'll have tons of fun using her. But that is pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys next time on more video. Thanks for watching.